Hey guys, Lord Sor here. As the season evolves, new speed farming techniques have popped up and I have adapted them to my favorite playstyle. I tested a version of this build on PTR and now bringing it back with even better tech. Quick disclaimer, this build does not rely on any seasonal power glitches. It also runs great on console and controller. I'm clearing pit 75 in about 2 minutes. I specifically picked this pit tier because I was trying to benchmark based on Operator Otter's benchmark for NECRO this season when it comes to speed clears. You can expect tier 50 runs in about a minute or so as well, and I would like to give credit to Otter here. He had done tons of testing, released a bunch of great speed farming builds, so I will link those down below. And he also has a great video on what pit tier you should target for the most efficiency. But this build should be able to perform at the high level for most of these content that you want to speed farm beyond pits. Obviously, this is one of the best builds to actually kill Uber bosses, nightmares, hordes, under city, strong rooms. Every other speed focus activity you saw in the opening clip, this build should be able to perform really well. Before diving in deeper, a few shout outs and credits. I would like to definitely give credit Winzig for discovering the wildest necro speed bug. I will link below his videos down in his channel. Again, Otter for all the speed testing and farming strategies for pit and for most XP efficient. And I would also like to credit Chronix from Maxroll for inspiring my evade based cooldown reduction math, and he has a great Spiritborn guide actually, but he has a great cooldown section that this has been around for a while now if you want to really manage your evade cooldown based on the evade Spiritborn build. So I kind of took that and adapted into necromancer for us to have near perma teleport. Before diving into all the technical stuff, I would like to list pros and cons of the build from the get-go. Starting from the pros, scales damage high if you want to farm higher pit tiers for glyphs. Obviously, this is one of the meta builds, the dot meta wave build, so the damage can go super high. I am sacrificing a lot of damage in this version, and I am running like a regular amulet, so on. So losing a lot of damage there, but the build can go even higher if you want to farm glyph XP, if you're trying to max out those glyphs. This has all the damage you need. Easy swap from, again, the meta dot wave build. If you have been playing that, you have only swapped 3 items and you're good to go. Few skill points here and there, and with the armor you can just save it immediately and you are good to go for the speed farm version. From actually, if you're pushing pits, if you're killing bosses, you should be able to kill bosses with this one as well, but very easy swap from the dot wave build. Super efficient speed farmer for nearly all content. For me, it's very satisfying to play. No glitches required. You do not have to abuse any bugs. So in case the bug is fixed, this should not impact you in any way. Console and controller friendly. The speed tech that we have seen is not really reliably be able to reproduce on the console or controller. So this should kind of give you a similar feeling without you missing out on the speed side of things. Cons, slightly slower than Otter's build. If I actually put side by side, I think his Decrepify build is slightly faster just because the mechanics of the build. But overall, this is more damage. Not ideal for open world speed farming. It is probably still one of the best for necromancer, but when there's the glitch thing is out there, you probably want to do that if you're just farming goblins. That event should end pretty soon. Or if you're just farming helltides, probably there are better options out there. But you know, if let's say those builds are 10 out of 10 in terms of open world speed farming, this should be 8 or 9 out of 10, so you're not missing as much. Requires a little gear swapping. Like I said, you have to get another mythic. You don't really need to. It functions really well when you do. You need Shaco. You need to get a new amulet. Doesn't have to be really this high-end amulet. All just, you know, amulet with an int on it or attack speed on it, whatever maximum life, it should work. You don't need as much damage, like I said. And maybe last con here is takes practice to nail the rotation. This might be a con for some, might be a pro. I personally like to be able to master the build I'm playing, but some people just want to play a little bit easier stuff. And not to say that this build is not easy, but it takes a little bit of practice to nail the rotation. So how do we teleport? Macroboy's video explains the teleport glitch in depth, and he touches on the point that it is somewhat unreliable, especially on the console. So I'm not going to go into full details. I think he did an amazing job. So I'm going to link down his video below as well. If you want to fully understand how that teleport glitch works, I think he had the best explanation out there. However, as I mentioned, we do not rely on this glitch in this build. Instead, we get near perma teleport using corpse explosion and cosmic anomaly, so no bugs needed. How it works is that skills like corpse explosion and Decrypify, you have seen probably out there that a lot of people are using Decrypify for this. They are quick triggers and they don't really require a target when you combine with cosmic anomaly and floaty bubble. So in our scenario, corpse explosion quickly triggers cosmic anomaly. Anomalies, it goes to that target location that you put your cursor over, but combined with floaty bubble arcana, you teleport before they explode. So you arrive to the location before those anomalies arrive, and then that's how you get the teleport. And if you are fast enough, you can actually chain 2-3 teleports naturally because you move faster than the anomalies can catch up. And that's kind of where the bug happens. Actually, you force the game to animation lock and it gets stuck in that state, and then you can just perma teleport. But as far as I know, no one able to actually reliably replicate this glitch. It is very iffy on certain situations, and I personally don't want to sit there and try to trigger this to be able to play the game. But for me, this works just as fine for my taste. So you just use corpse explosion and you can chain up to 2-3 teleports naturally because you move faster than your anomalies, and then that way you have a really nice teleportation. In addition to that, we have metamorphosis and Jah rune on this build. So as you spam corpse explosion to trigger anomalies and chain teleports, you travel quite of a distance, so your Jah rune is always active, so you always have a teleport, and you have tons of cooldown reduction, evade cooldown reduction, so you pretty much have metamorphosis available to evade at all times. So you constantly actually transition between these movement mechanics that kind of gives you a near constant, near perma teleportation. For me, I personally start my rotation with evade, maybe once or twice, and then I start chain reaction of the corpse explosion to trigger the anomalies, and then that gets me for 2-3 teleportation itself, and then my Jah rune is already ready, so I teleport with that back to metamorphosis. So I do this back and forth between options, and they match and work really beautifully together. So you eventually get this perma near constant teleportation. It takes a bit practice, but also mastering this is kind of fun. For me at least. Also want to cover some of the breakpoints around Blood Wave and Bloodlands and how these two work together and how we turn this into a more of a speed version, because if you're playing Blood Wave in the past seasons or playing the Dot Wave, this is specifically speed farm for the Dot Wave, so we don't actually have to rely on Ratna's Vigor passive at all. But Blood Wave and Dot Wave can feel slow because Tidal's animation lock, and once you cast the wave, it casts additional 2 more waves, and then you can't pretty much cast another Blood Wave until that animation is over. And in the meantime, you manually pick up orbs, blah blah blah. So this kind of holds you back when it comes to farming things rather quickly. So in this version, we are not running Tidal, so we don't have to deal with this animation lock. So, and we are using Bloodlands and Gore Coils to auto pick up orbs. And adding Shaco, greater affix cooldown reduction on Casime's Legacy, and ultimate cooldown reduction tempers on Jewelry, you pretty much hit the cooldown cap. So Wave, the Blood Wave's cooldown sits about 8.5 to 9 seconds. Perfect, because if you look at Fast Blood on AMOLED, each blood orb reduces our Blood Wave cooldown by 4.5 seconds. So all we need is 2 blood orbs, and Blood Wave generates exactly 2 orbs. So casting Wave and then followed by Bloodlands with Gore Coils picks up all those orbs, and then that engine going automatically. So you pretty much have instant wave cast at all times. You just cast Blood Wave, Bloodlands, Blood Wave, Bloodlands, Blood Wave, Bloodlance. So you do this like double skill rotation and you have pretty much your damage source available at all times. To summarize, you cast Wave, you cast Bloodlance to pick up the orbs, you cast Wave again. In the meantime, you can teleport around, and Wave itself already one-shots most monsters, so just one wave should be enough for the most content. And you just Wave, Bloodlance, teleport, Wave, Bloodlance, teleport, you rinse and repeat, and you get this fat, smooth, for me, super satisfying playstyle. Anyhow, I hope this covers everything that you should know to play this build. I am going to make a planner, and that will be linked down below as well. And if you need a pit pushing guide, that is also already on my channel. If you're playing especially Dot Wave, I have covered that, all the mechanics, all the things you must know. So all that is actually linked below. And like and subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to me. I'll be covering a lot more videos. I think PTRs are on the corner, so we have tons of more testing to do. So like and subscribe, stay in touch with me. I also have a Discord now, so if you'd like to join the Discord, we have some of the best necromancers players in there and all overall friendly people. So if you want to join, my Discord link is also down below in the description. Lord Sora here. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers.